You read it, and I'll do it live. Don't mind the bag. What the fuck? Connect, you piece of shit. There we go. We're connected. Don't you ever go out on me. What the flipper fuck? This is really taking a toll on my reading here. That's my former place we got to. The Fun of the Fair. Control V. Come on. Chapter 2. Part 1. Chapter 2, Part 1. Save. Then we can turn that off. Or is it? Add a picture. I've got your picture. Hey, fuckhead. I don't want that on there. Thank you. Thank you. Change. Pop. This is pop. Yeah, this is pop. Popular entertainments through the ages. Let's get in there, bruv. We're on. Alright, we're all set up. The fun of the fair. The fun of the fair. Easy for me to say. The fun of the fair. 1. The Elizabethan. I can't read. The Elizabethan state, which denounced strolling entertainers as rogues, vagabonds, and sturdy beggars, did not by any means wipe them out of existence. They are with us today, and it was quite a thrill to hear one of them in the summer of 1931 wax indignant to a crowd in Euston Road about the Elizabethan statute, which stigmatized him and his fellows as rogues and vagabonds. Truly, the things with which we are dealing are not all matters of dead history. The strollers wandered all over the country and were present at village fairs and the great summer gatherings such as Stourbridge Fair, Greenwich Fair, Southwark Fair, Mayfair, and Bartholomew Fair. The entertainments surveyed in this chapter, although they are being seen at a few particular places and at one time of the year, were popular all over England. It is convenient to enjoy most of them when they are gathered together at the greatest of all the pleasure fairs. Nevertheless, it should be remembered that they are representative of popular entertainments in general. Bartholomew Fair in Smithfield was one of the most famous fairs in the world, and from the 17th century until its abolition 200 years later, it was the recognized type of pleasure fair. It was founded at the beginning of the 12th century by the monk Rahir, who built at the same time St. Bartholomew's Hospital. The hospital was part of the priory which he founded, but at the Reformation they were separated. Rahir brought the fair into being as a source of income. At it were sold cloth, stuffs, leather, pewter, live cattle, and other commodities. But for our purpose, it is important only as regards the strolling entertainers it brought together and the other attractions it offered to pleasure seekers. During its early days, the fair was frequented by jugglers, tumblers, musicians, ballad singers, conjurers, stilt walkers, bear leaders, and other strolling entertainers. Their story has already been brought down to the Elizabethan period. By lumping them all together in a noisy mass, we get a not inadequate picture of the fair during the early centuries of its existence. We can therefore continue from where we left off. The opening of the fair in 1598 was described by a German visitor. Hello, bros. It is worthy of observation that every year upon St. Bartholomew's Day, when the fair is held, it is usual for the mayor, attended by the 12 principal aldermen, to walk in a neighboring field, dressed in his scarlet gown, and about his neck a golden chain, to which is hung a golden fleece, and besides that particular ornament which distinguishes the most noble order of the Garter. When the mayor goes out of the precincts of the city, a scepter and a sword and a cap are borne before him, and he is followed by the principal aldermen in scarlet gowns with gold chains, himself and they on horseback. Upon their arrival at a place appointed for that purpose, where a tent is pitched, the mob begin to wrestle before them. Two at a time, the conquerors receive rewards from the magistrates. After all this is over, a parcel of live rabbits are turned loose among the crowd, which are pursued by a number of boys who endeavor to catch them with all the noise they can make. And if you've ever heard rabbits scream, they scream loud. I actually have never heard one in person, but I've heard one on a vinyl record. I mean, it's just a screeching like you never heard. A vivid description of the fair itself about this time is available in the very detailed and realistic picture drawn by Ben Jonson in his comedy Bartholomew Fair, the scene of which is the pleasure fair. Buy any ballads, new ballads, hey, cries a woman ballad singer who has printed sheets for sale, and while she is singing to a gentleman, a confederate tickles his right ear with a straw, causes him to take his right hand from his pocket to rub his ear, and then picks his pocket. This incident in the play was made the subject of a drawing in the following century, and elsewhere the picture is reproduced. The same innocent visitor falls a victim to the common trick of pear throwing, not pearl throwing. For when a costermonger, that's a new one, costermonger upsets his pears, he joins in the scramble and is eased of his hat and cloak. Buy any gingerbread, gilt gingerbread, cries a woman, and another tempts the ladies to partake of a very famous Bartholomew dainty roast pig. Gentlewomen, the weather's hot, she says. Whither walk you? Have a care of your fine velvet caps. The fair is dusty. Take a sweet, delicate booth with boughs here in the way, and cool yourselves in the shade, you and your friends. The best pig and bottle ale in the fair, sir. The pigs roast at a fire at the back of the booth, and in front is a signboard on which is a picture of a pig's head. Under the sign being the inscription, "Here be the best pigs," and she does roast them as well as ever she did. That's hilarious. Cries a toyman to visitors, "What do you lack, gentlemen? What is it you lack? A fine horse, a lion, a bull, a bear, a dog, or a cat, an excellent fine Bartholomew bird, or an instrument? What is't you lack?" Again he asks, "What do you lack, gentlemen? Fine purses, pouches, pin cases, pipes? What is't you lack? A pair of smiths to wake you in the morning, or a fine whistling bird?" To the ladies he cries, "What do you lack? What do you buy, mistress? A fine hobby horse to make your son a tilter, a drum to make him a soldier, a fiddle to make him a reveler? What is't you lack? Little dogs for your daughters, or babies, male or female? Babies being the name usually given to dolls." Among the sights of the fair were a black eagle, a black wolf, a huge hog, a bull with 5 legs, a musical hare that played the tabor, and dogs that danced the morris. There was a juggler with a well-educated ape, which came over a chain for the King of England and back again for the prince, but which sat still for the Pope and the King of Spain. The hare and the ape were seen in medieval times, and some 200 years after Johnson's play was written, Strutt said that he had seen at Sadler's Wells Theater a hare that played the tabor. In Ben Jonson's play Puppet Showman, adding the sound of a drum to the other noises of the fair, go round and deliver handbills advertising their performance. The cost of admission is 1 penny, but the showmen whom we meet in the play, and doubtless all the others, take 2 pence from gentlemen and 3 pence if they can. In the booth, one gentleman looks at a basket full of puppets. Do you call these players? He asks. They are actors, sir, is the showman's reply, and as good as any, none dispraised, for dumb shows. Indeed, I am the mouth of them all. Puppet shows were known as motions, and the showman, talking to one of his men, indicates some of the subjects. Jerusalem was a stately thing, he says, and so was Nineveh, and the city of Norwich, and Sodom and Gomorrah, with the rising of the prentices upon Shrove Tuesday. But the gunpowder plot, there was a penny. I presented it to an 18 or 20 pence audience 9 times in an afternoon. Your homemade projects prove over the best. They are so easy and familiar. They put too much learning in their things nowadays. Accordingly, he had entreated a writer to simplify the story of Hero and Leander, which was the subject of the present play, but which in Marlowe's translation from Musaeus was too learned and poetical for the audiences at Bartholomew Fair. What do they know what Hellespont is? Guilty of true love's blood, he asks the gentleman, or what Abydos does, or what Abydos is, or the other, Cestus height. Cestus height? Thou art in the right, is the reply. I do not know myself. The author explains his alterations. I have only made it a little easy and modern for the time, sir, that's all. As for the Hellespont, I imagine our Thames here, and then Leander I make a dyer's son about Paddle Wharf, and Hero a wench, the Bankside, who going over one morning to Old Fish Street, Leander spies her land at Trigstairs, and falls in love with her. Now do I introduce Cupid, having metamorphosed himself into a drawer, and he strikes Hero in love with a pint of sherry. And other pretty passages there are of the friendship that will delight you, sir, and please you of judgment. To meet the tastes of their audiences, the puppet showmen went much farther than the omission of learning and poetry. They inserted as many extravagancies, vulgarities, and obscenities as the play would accommodate, and did so even when the story was drawn from the Bible. Nineveh and Sodom and Gomorrah were 2 pieces of which the showman in Ben Jonson's comedy was proud, and undoubtedly he had a right to congratulate himself, for the subjects offered so many opportunities of appealing to the grosser side of human nature that the plays could hardly have helped being successful. Let's look at some of this. The Ram with 6 Legs, Bartholomew Fair, 1790. The Unicorn Ram, Bartholomew Fair, 1790. A Dwarf at Bartholomew Fair, 1787. The Mermaid, as shown on a Bartholomew Fair advertisement. As seen by George Cruikshank when he entered the booth. The hell is it? Is that a merman? Or wait, was that the advertisement and then that's what they saw? All right. Let's see what the other one is on the flip side here. The obverse Brook Green Fair by Thomas Rowlandson. Great. Looks exciting. Number 2. How many pages are in this chapter? 29 to 58. Is that what it said? 55, so 26, we'll stop at 13. So 42, we'll stop at 2. A later description of the fair is contained in a pamphlet that was published about the middle of the 17th century. It is remarkable and worth your observation to behold and hear. The strange sights and confused noises in the fair. Here a knave in a fool's coat with a trumpet sounding, or on a drum beating, invites you, and would fain persuade you to see his puppets. There a rogue like a wild woodman, or in an antic shape like an incubus, desires your company to view his motion. On the other side, hocus pocus with 3 yards of tape or ribbon in's hand, showing his art of legerdemain to the admiration and astonishment of a company of cockoloaches. Amongst these you shall see a grey goose cap, as wise as the rest, with a what do ye lack in his mouth, stand in his booth shaking a rattle or scraping on a fiddle, with which children are so taken that they presently cry out for these fopperies. And all these together make such a distracted noise that you would think Babel were not comparable to it. A few years later, the Puritans triumphed, but although they closed the regular theaters, they did not interfere with the clowns, jugglers, and puppet showmen of the annual Bartholomew Fair. Cromwell himself, besides being fond of music, retained the services of 4 buffoons and was not beyond playing practical jokes on his friends. That the fun of the fair was representative of entertainments which were to be seen elsewhere in London and also in the provinces, even during the time of the Puritan rule, is shown by a poem in which Sir William Davenant describes the summer migration of the regular town showmen. Now vaulter good and dancing lass, on roping man that cries, hey pass, and tumbler young that needs but stoop, lay head to heel to creep through hoop, and man in chimney hid to dress, puppets that axe our old Queen Bess, and man that while the puppets play, through nose expoundeth what they say, and white oat eater that does dwell in stable small at sign of bell, that lifts up hoof to show the pranks taught by magicians styled banks. An age led captive still in chain till he renounced the Pope in Spain, and those on hoof now trudge from town to cheat poor turnip eating clown. A Puritan Lord Mayor during the Commonwealth period had puppet showmen and others arrested for opening the fair early in the morning, while in the afternoon he himself was supposed to declare it open with considerable ceremony. From this incident arose an institution known as Lady Holland's Mob, which was named after a lady who opened her house for secret performances during the time the theaters were closed, until the last years of the fair, by which time there was a strong police force. The mob met in Smithfield the night before the day on which the fair was to be opened by the Lord Mayor. At midnight they made a proclamation of their own in a serious form of words, and then for 3 hours thousands of them would knock at doors, ring bells, ill-use people whom they met, and in other ways acquaint the neighborhood with the not unexpected news that the fair was open. The duration of the fair was extended to 14 days, when the Royalists supplanted the Puritans at the Restoration. Courtiers and fine ladies went to the fair. Samuel Pepys records that there he saw Lady Castlemaine and King's mistress. I to Bartholomew Fair to walk up and down, he says, and there, among other things, find my Lady Castlemaine at a puppet play, patient Grizel, and the street full of people expecting her coming out. On another occasion he took his wife to the fair, and there did see a ridiculous, obscene little stage play called Mary Andre, a foolish thing, but seen by everybody, and so to Jacob Hall's dancing of the ropes, a thing worth seeing and mightily followed. According to an actress who spoke to Pepys, the handsome rope dancers shared with the unsuspecting king the love of Lady Castlemaine, from whom he is said to have received private interviews, many presents, and a salary. Pepys saw him again at Southwark Fair a few days later, and here took acquaintance with a fellow that carried me to a tavern, whither come the music of this booth. And by Jacob Hall himself, with whom I had a mind to speak to hear whether he had ever any mischief by falls in his time. He told me, yes, many, but never to the breaking of a limb. He seems a mighty strong man. During the same visit, the diarist saw a puppet show to Southwark Fair, very dirty, and there saw the puppet show of Whittington, which was pretty to see, and how that idle thing do work upon people that see it, and even myself too. Pepys affords us other interesting glimpses of Bartholomew Fair, to which he was a regular visitor. To Bartholomew Fair, and there met with my ladies Jemima and Paulina, with Mr. Pickering and Mademoiselle, at seeing the monkeys dance, which was much to see when they could be brought to do, but it troubled me to sit among such nasty company. To Bartholomew Fair, and our boy with us, and there showed them and myself the dancing on the ropes, and several other the best shows. But pretty it is to see how our boy carries himself so innocently clownish, as would make one laugh. Then up and down to buy combs for my wife to give her maids. To Bartholomew Fair, and there, it being very dirty, and now night, we saw a poor fellow, whose legs were tied behind his back, dance upon his hands with his breech above his head, and also dance upon his crutches, without any legs upon the ground to help him, which he did with that pain that I was sorry to see it, and did pity him, and give him money after he had done. Another entry is more cheerful, to Bartholomew Fair, and there saw several sights, among others the mare that tells money, and any other things to admiration, and among others come to me when she was bid to go to him of the company that most loved the pretty wench in a corner. And this did not cost me 12d. I don't know what that is. What's the turn? There's pounds. What are the quid? I don't know what that is. 12d. Whatever 12d is. Now I lost my spot. And this did cost me 12d to the horse, which I had flung him before, and did give me occasion to kiss a mighty bell fill that was exceeding plain but fort bell. A few days later he saw the dancing mare again, but this time she acted much worse than before. Forgetting many things which her master beat her for, Pepys was accompanied by 3 friends, one of whom was Lord Brouncker, who was this day in an unusual manner merry, I believe with drink. A visit to the fair was evidently a festive occasion. Having seen the fair through the eyes of one who moved in high circles, we will see in a few verses of a ballad how it appealed to a countryman. Roger in a maze, or the countryman's ramble through Bartholomew Fair. Adzooks Che went the other day to London town, in Smithfield such gazing, such thrusting and squeezing was never known. A city of wood, some volk do call Bartholomew Fair, but Che's not but king and queens live there. In gold and silver, silk and velvet, each was dressed. A lord in his satin was busily prating. Among the rest, but one in blue jacket came in, which some do Andrew call ad shirt, talk woundy, wittily to them all. At least adzooks, he made such sport I laughed aloud. The rogue being flustered, he flung me a custard amid the crowd. The volk fell a-laughing at me, then the vixen said, "Be sure, Ralph, give it to Dolly, the dairymaid." I swallowed the affront, but stayed no longer there. I scrambled, till further I rambled, into the fair when trumpets and bagpipes, kettle drums and fiddlers, all were at work, and the cooks zung, "Here's your delicate pig and pork." The conjurer who wrote Hocus Pocus Jr., to which reference was made in earlier pages, was a frequenter of the fair at this time, and in the book he says, "Courteous reader, do you not wonder? If you do not, well you may, to see so slight a pamphlet so quickly spent. But lightly come and lightly go, it is a juggler's term, and it well befits the subject. Would you know whence it first came? Why, from Bartholomew Fair. Would you know whether it's bent? For the fair again, it's a straggler, a wanderer, and as I said, as it lightly comes, so it lightly goes, for it means to see not only Bartholomew Fair, but all the fairs in the kingdom also." The sentences have the quick, easy flow of the patter with which he undoubtedly enlivened his performances and took the attention of the spectators away from what he was doing with his hands. His trade was an old one as regards the tricks. Of necessity, it was not so old as regards the selling of a printed pamphlet. Both branches still exist in our public places, and in May 1931, a descendant of the Bartholomew Fair conjurer was doing his tricks and selling the secrets in a street that is within 100 yards or so of what was the site of the fair. "It's giving change that runs away with the profits," he said. He affirmed that he was only selling the books as a hobby, "for I am well connected. My father and mother are in the iron and steel trade. My mother does the ironing, and my father does the steeling." In the late 17th century, there was shown at the fair the famous Indian waterworks, adorned with several new additions, together with masquerades, songs, and dances. A child was shown alive, bound back to back with a bear, in which position it was said to have been born, and says a poem, "Here's the woman of Babylon, the devil and the Pope, and here's the little girl just going on the rope. Here's Dives and Lazarus and the world's creation. Here's the tall Dutch woman that likes not in the nation. Here is the booths where the high Dutch maid is. Here are the bears that dance like any ladies." I tried to rhyme it. In the last years of the 17th century and the first decade of the 18th, such sights were on view as a child with 3 legs, a tall black called the Indian king who had lately been a slave, a little fairy woman, lately come from Italy, being but 2 feet 2 inches high, and in no way deformed, a tall Englishman 8 feet high, and but 17 years of age, a man with 1 head and 2 bodies, and a woman with 1 body and 2 heads, one above the other. Among the animal curiosities were a 3-legged cock from Hamburg, and a colt that had been foaled without any forelegs, and at the word of command walked on his 2 hind legs. A marmoset from Bengal danced the Cheshire rounds and exercised at the word of command. There was a huge Buckinghamshire hog. Particularly popular sights were a tiger that had been trained to pluck a fowl, and an elephant that fired a gun. Many of the animals, such as cassowary from the East Indies, a leopard from Lebanon, an eagle from Russia, and an opossum from Hispaniola, were of interest to the serious student, as well as to the mere seeker of new sights, for in those days the exhibition of rare beasts was entirely to showmen, and the famous naturalist Sir Hans Sloane was among those who visited the fair to study them. In the last year of the 17th century, Edward Ward published in his London Spy a lively account of a visit to the fair. He was lifted off his feet and carried along in the rapidly moving stream of pleasure seekers, but the crowd did not move so quickly in all the parts of the grounds, for a visitor 2 years later found it difficult to move 3 yards in 30 minutes. The mob in front of one booth was greatly amused when a merry Andrew on a balcony blew his nose upon them. After some more entertaining jest and annex, the merry Andrew wound up with an invitation to walk in, gentlemen, and take your places whilst you may have 'em. The candles are all lighted, and we are just a-going to begin. This said, he majestically led into the booth a number of fellow players who were sitting on the balcony in all the splendor of their tinsel robes and golden leather buskins. Outside a waxwork show known as the Temple of Diana stood two waxwork children, and between them was a comical figure that opened and shut its mouth, rolled its eyes, and played on a drum. Drawing a crowd to a rope dancer's booth were acrobatic performers, including women who stood on their head. Inside, the same performers showed their skill. A child walked on the rope, then two stout young ladies danced on it energetically. A Negro woman and an Irish woman danced, and the principal attraction was the rope dancing of a gentleman and a German maid, not a mind. Two or three scaramouches stood at the doors of music booths, inviting people to enter. In one of the booths, kettle drums, trumpets, and fiddles clanged, and scraped. To the accompaniment of the drums, 7 singers delivered a ballad, Shades of the Gleeman and his harp. Hot boy players, hot boy, not hot boys, tortured their instruments, but apparently not the ears of their audience. A dance was given in imitation of a footpad's robbery, the firing of the pistol, stripping of the victim, and searching of his pockets being done with a realism which was probably the result of long practice, and that not dancing practice. There was also a fat woman who danced about rapidly with glasses full of liquor on the backs of her hands. A young lady begged swords from gentlemen in the booth and used them in a nimble sword dance. A very popular actor and booth manager about this time was William Penkethman, a comedian who was dear to the gallery at Drury Lane as Pinky. Steele praised him in The Spectator, calling him the ingenious Mr. Penketh Man, and saying that he was master of as many faces in a dumb scene as could be expected from a man in the circumstances of being ready to perish out of fear and hunger. The comedian was said by a sour critic to be the flower of Bartholomew Fair and the idol of the rabble. He was also popular at Mayfair and Greenwich Fair. William Bullock was another famous Drury Lane comedian who visited the fair during the time the theater was closed for the Bartholomew holiday. He and Penkethman often appeared together at Drury Lane and the fair. Even Thomas Doggett, famous comedian and joint manager of Drury Lane, ran a booth and played in it. In 1707, Elkanah Settle, an old man who in his younger days had been so successful as a playwright and poet that he had set up as a rival to Dryden, accepted a position with Mrs. Min, a showwoman at the fair. Later, he descended to playing the dragon in St. George and the Dragon, in a green case of his own invention, and spat forth streams of fire. He presented in Mrs. Min's booth The Siege of Troy, which he had recently produced at Drury Lane, and to suit the taste of the frequenters of the fair, he cut out much of the serious dialogue and inserted low talk and buffooneries. His genius as a planner of spectacles was seen in the gorgeous nature of the production. It was advertised as the work of 10 months' preparation. Without boast or vanity, it was announced, we may modestly say in the whole several scenes, movements, and machines, it is no ways inferior even to any one opera yet seen in either of the royal theaters. Let's check them out. Bartholomew Fair by Thomas Rowlandson. Kind of looks like all the other fairs. Let's see what this is. Southwark Fair. Now this one looks different. It was termed an expensive entertainment and a costly projection, and perhaps it was the earliest entertainment offered to the common people, which, like many spectacular films, came out of the pockets rather than the brains of the producers. Among the scenes was the Temple of Diana, being a particularly magnificent structure richly adorned. The capitals, urns, crescents, festoons, and other carved work, all gilt, consisting of 10 pieces of painting, in each of which, in a large niche in each front of these paintings, are seen 10 statues of the heathen gods, viz., Jupiter, Juno, Pallas, Apollo, Neptune, Thetis, Mars, Venus, Ceres, and Mercury, each figure near 5 foot high and all gilt. In the back of the stage, in the center of the temple, is a rich altarpiece, bearing 3 niches in the walls, in the middle of which, on a pedestal 18 inches high, stands a young woman dressed in cloth of gold, representing the statue of Diana, holding a hunting spear in her hand, and on 2 other pedestals of the same height on each hand of her stand 2 more young women in the like golden habit, representing 2 of her nymphs, each with a bow and a quiver. Over this altarpiece and beyond the view of the temple are seen 3 beautiful circles of clouds, and on the back scene beyond them, in a serene heaven, is seen Diana driving in a chariot drawn by 2 hinds. In another scene appeared the Trojan horse, 17 feet high, and richly gilded and decorated, out of whose body issued some 40 soldiers and their officers, all with drawn swords. In the next scene, the Greeks set the town on fire, whilst near 40 windows or portholes in the several paintings all appear on fire, the flames catching from house to house, and all performed by illuminations and transparent paintings. Nor were the crowds so beloved by film producers absent from the siege of Troy. A mob enters drunk, a crowd of Grecian soldiers, guards, attendants, and others appear with lighted flambeaux. The mob enters again, and the play concludes with a full stage of triumphant soldiers. Shall we read on, even though nobody's here? We will read to 4. 3. An announcement regarding a later production of The Siege of Troy figures in Hogarth's picture of Southwark Fair. Among the many interesting people in the engraving is the man on the slack rope. His name was Violante, and he was an Italian. He married a rope dancer whose name was Lupino. This artiste being a member of a family which can be traced back to the middle of the 17th century, when a lady of that name appeared at fairs in Drury Lane. The talent remained in the Lupino family, later members of which were dancers, pantomime actors, dress designers, circus clowns, and tumblers. Among its present-day representatives are Stanley Lupino, Barry Lupino, and Lupino Lane. The peep show in the foreground was a very humble form of entertainment. It was, however, a direct ancestor of the cinematograph, I don't know how to say it, cinematograph. I don't know how you would say it without the ER. Cinematograph, I'm going to say. The man on his slack rope is facing a show cloth advertising a giant. His name was Maximilian Christopher Miller. He was born in Germany. Cinnamon Bear. He was born in Germany and was about 8 feet in height. The scepter and heavily jeweled sword which he carried were presented to him by Louis XIV. In the gorgeous dress shown in our separate illustration, he paraded before the spectators. It can be seen that he thought quite a lot of himself. If he had realized how closely he resembled in face, bearing an overwhelming self-importance, a future Kaiser of the Germany, from which he came. He might have raised a little higher both his chin and the price of admission. In the top right-hand corner of Hogarth's picture, a man is seen flying from the tower to the ground by means of a groove fastened to his breast. The name of the daring performer was Cadman. In 1740 he was killed in an attempt to descend in the same style from a church steeple in Shrewsbury. The manner of his death was told in his epitaph. Let this small monument record the name of Cadman, and to future times proclaim, here by an attempt to fly from this high spire across the Sabrine stream he did acquire his fatal end. 'Twas not for want of skill or courage to perform the task he fell. No, a faulty cord being drawn too tight hurried his soul on high to take her flight, which bid the body here beneath. Good night. Bob. That's where I'm stopping because I'm halfway through. Unless you want to pay me $16 million and then I'll read the rest of the chapter until my tongue falls out. Look at that. That's what you get to see if you stick around. Until next time. What do you got, bruv? Top chat. What about bottom chat? Was there a bottom chat? One watching. Shoe to go. What the fuck? XOXO. You out? Are you out, bruv? Or shall we chat a bit? Here, I'll put you in a trance. You got 16 million? Send me your money now. God damn it, send me your money now. I should just do this for like an hour straight. It's going to take a few business days. I want it overnighted. I mean, if you got 16 million to spare, you can afford overnighting that shit. I mean, it would only be a check. I think you could probably, what's that called? Venmo it. 16 million. Does it say there? Nothing. This is great. I'm just gonna make like 100 shorts tomorrow, and they'll all be this, just a bell. I just need you to send 2K first to free up the account. Definitely not in Nigeria. I don't like your fucking attitude. There's no negotiations here. I don't negotiate with terrorists. How annoying is that from that side? Imagine if someone watches 42 minutes of this and then suddenly the bell comes on like a fucking end of a Beatles record. ASMR, 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 ASMR. Hootie and the Slow Bish. Putting the fuck's the pocket? Why's the pocket in the front? What kind of bullshit is this? We put the pocket in the front. I must have bought it after 2017 since that was the last time I was checked out. Paper Tiger. Was it next to a Kmart? Why the fuck won't anything focus? There we go. Who's that guy that was in Denver next to the old rubber factory? Does that mean rubber or like condoms? What the fuck? What the fuck did I just do? There it is. That's what I did, boy. Rubber. The Gates Rubber Factory. You ever watch Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead? I don't know, it's fucked up. Besides this thing starting on its own. I can't get it open. There it goes. I was at an estate sale yesterday and I saw one of these fuckers. I should have got it, but I was like, do I really need another one of these things? Start ticking on me. Come here, you son of a bitch. This is a pretty nice little travel clock. See? Is it ticking? Sounds like it is ticking. Can you hear it? It does sound like it's ticking. It's got a random ticker. It's definitely ticking. It's ticking. Wouldn't it be great if it was actually a fucking explosives in there and there's just... I keep hitting the, what's it called? It has a short in the circuitry, and I just keep delaying my inevitable demise from a blowing up clock. Why won't you fucking push? I was all worried about this, and then a mass shooter like a mile and a half away tried to go to a church and kill a bunch of people, and they ran his ass over. I wish they would release the video. Hey, we're coming. This guy comes to he comes to attack a church, and then he drives around the parking lot erratically, erratically, and brings attention to himself to the deacon, who happened to be arriving late. And then he gets out of his car and starts firing into the building with guns, and the deacon just ran his ass down. And then other guys came out and just capped him. The funny part was I didn't even hear any sirens or anything going to the thing. Great story. Still ticking? It is still ticking. Oh man. Want some more bell? More cowbell? Oh shit. Oh. Fucking shorts. Tight. Alright. I just loved Northwoods. It was such a great novel. A sweeping novel about a solitary house in the woods of New England, told through the lives of those who inhabit it across the centuries. A daring, moving tale of memory and fate. Sounds bullshitish. Let's read one page. Oh, look at this fucking weird shit. Why do you got a lion between a bunch of people's fucking groins? What is this shit? That looks like an elephant. That looks like people's loins. This guy looks like he had surgery on his one leg. What the fuck is going on here? Does it? Does it make me wonder? It makes me wonder where the video is so I can see the guy getting run over. They had come to the spot in the freshness of June, chased from the village by its people, following deer path through the forest, the valleys, the fern groves, and the quaking bogs. Fast they ran, steam rose from the fens and meadows, bramble tore at their clothing, shredding it to rags that hung about their shoulders. They crashed through thickets, hid in tree hollows and bear caves, rattling sticks before they slipped inside. They fled as if it were a child's game, as if they had made off with plunder. My plunder, he whispered as he touched her lips. They laughed with the glee of it. They could not be found. Solemn men marched past them with harquebuses cocked in their elbows, peered into the undergrowth, stuffed greasy pinches of tobacco into their pipes. The world had closed over them. Gone was England. Gone the colony. They were nature's wards now. He told her they had crossed into a realm, lying beneath him in the leaves in the low hollow of an oak. She arched her neck to watch the belted boots and leather scabbards swinging across the wormy ceiling of the world. So close, she thought, biting his hand to stifle her joy. I'm done. Makes you wonder if it happened at all. Like, let's see the video. Well, there's ring camera shots of the whatchamacallit, the shots being fired. You can hear them. You'd think I'd even be able to hear those from a mile and a half away. Then the guy's car was smashed. And the guy was a fucking moron. I wonder if his Facebook page is still up. Hey, I'm gonna get some people. No, you got yourself got, buddy. You're done. Well, let's see if his page is still up. What was his name? Danny? Daniel. The fuck was his name? I forget this piece of shit already. Let's see if I just enter her face. There it is, Brian Brownie. Let's see if he's still up. Brian. Yeah, it's still up. There he is with him and his dog. Brian and the lion. It's weird that they didn't take his Facebook down. They usually take this shit down. I wonder if he had a manifesto. Pinned to post. The biblical way to heaven. Normal people who take their roles in the Matrix very seriously. Me doing whatever I'm doing. Elijah, where's your so-called God? Prophets of Baal. I should show that one. There's this one kid who he was in the chat one night, and he's into dolls, which was probably an interest to you. What was this kid's name? But he's only like 12 years old, and it's almost just fucking weird. So I didn't really want to. I'm not gonna follow him because he's like 12, but just some bizarre fucking videos. They're actually pretty good, but as soon as I saw his face, I'm like, this kid's like 12 years old. Where the hell is this shit? I don't want any personal info to fly up here. What's this kid's name? Didn't even respond to him because he's like 12. His name is Nancy. You gonna not click? What the fuck's going on here? Nancy652. Oh wait, I can't click it. I gotta go to view more comments. Look at this shit. I don't know if this is just like a fake channel. Or if it's just a kid. It just seems too fucking bizarre to be real. Look at this shit. My old doll versus my new doll. I almost feel like it's an adult just using the videos, but I never responded to this kid. What's it say? Stop hating on bacons or else. That's right.
I don't like you. I don't like you.
Maybe not.
I don't like you.
Maybe he is 12. All right. I'm done with this fucker anyways. I'm not. Because if I fucking comment back, the kid will be back in the channel and then I have to ban him. It's better just to ignore him. Picked up this vintage Cupid doll. All right. That's great times. I feel baff for his doggy. Do you feel bad too, or just baff? You baffled? Who, that guy? Well, apparently, where the fuck did I'm not looking it up again. Guy's a piece of shit. Where the fuck is that book? The Merchant Class of Medieval London. Oh, that's right. I got to read this today. I forgot about that. I also forgot about that one lady, too. What's today, the 28th or the 29th? Oh, it's the 29th. I got to read the 29th. What the fuck is it? Captain's log. How long is this thing? Damn, it's a couple pages. It's not going to be a short, that's for sure. Unless I read it really fast. Dude, how many fucking pages is it for one day? 4 pages. Crazy. I've got long nails on and my autocorrect is off. Captain's log. Yeah, it's kind of... And what does rock date mean? Is that something from Star Trek? I fucking hate Star Trek. Rock date. Why does it say rock? Where's that fucking guy's book? Oh, that ain't it. Circus? No. That's not the one. Look at that fucking Chumbawamba. Imagine having that fucking beard. Just imagine. Alright, what did I do with it? Let me reach over here. Yeah. There it is. I found the book. Star Wars was okay for the first 2 or 3, but then it's just like, yeah, what the fuck are you doing? Now they got Samuel L. Jackson and what's that guy? Who's that fucking Scottish actor? Conor McGregor, whatever the fuck his name is. And what the hell are you doing? Remember those 2 guys were always in independent films and now they're in Star Wars? It's fucking embarrassing. Who is that McGregor actor? Ewan McGregor. It's like, how can you be in fucking Star Wars? I fully expected this book to be somewhat good. I mean, I was going to get it regardless because it says cemetery in it. But I should have known when it's poetry that it would be awful. I just started reading this poem and I was like, what are you fucking talking about? How can you be a college professor and then you write some bullshit like this? How fucking dumb can you be? Listen to this. Where is it? It really disappointed me. When her coffin had been carried from the room, the house remained exactly as she had arranged it. Well, no fucking shit. Her thoughts present in the position of each chair, in the snapshots of the dead upon the mantel, and by the kitchen door a smudge, where her hand had often rested. Her grandson, by himself in the house, drags a chair over to that spot, climbs up and just touches his tongue to the mark. And in its salt and faint taste of cinnamon, 100 bright occasions return to him. With his eyes shut and his tongue pressed to the wood, he can feel the house unfurl its wings, rise up, and glide over the fields of wheat and small farms like a horned owl from the branch of a dead tree. His heart quickens with excitement. No telling where he is going, and will she be waiting? I mean, what the fuck writes this? It's just awful. And it's because you're a female, so you feel sorry for him. Because he probably has a fucking beard like that other guy. Where's that piece of shit? Where the fuck did he go? This son of a bitch. Guarantee it looks just like this guy. There's Dobbins at. I mean, it's just... Now, in comparison, and I was going to make a video on it, because as soon as I read it, I was angry as hell. And I'm just like, no, that's unacceptable. But then again, I'm used to a writer like Jeffers, who would say compensation, solitude that unmakes me one of men. Focus, you fucker. In snow white hands brings singular recompense, evening me with kindlier natures, when on the needled pine wood the cold dews condense about the hour of Rigel, fallen from heaven in winter time, or when the long night tides sigh blindly from the sand dune backward driven, or when on storm wings of the north wind rides the foam scud with the cormorants, or when passes a horse or dog with brown affectionate eyes, or autumn frosts are pricked by earliest grasses, or whirring from her cover a quail flies, why even in humanity beauty and good show from the mountainside of solitude. Now that's a fucking poem. This is some guy just fucking writing some rubbish. And I think the whole reason why I hate it is there's nothing of permanence in the motherfucker. Nothing. It's just fucking. The grandson's licking the wall. I mean, you know how mentally ill that sounds? His grandson's licking a spot on the wall. I mean, who's going to read that in like 200 years and say, oh, that's so wonderful? They might even burn this book. This fucking guy. Hey, Steven Spielberg's brother. I'm the other Steven in the Spielberg family. The yogis return from the ashram in their loose whites, in their pink checkered radiances. I will burn it. This guy won the Poetry Society of America Melville Cain Award, 1987. Maybe his I still want to see this guy. No, he's not in there. The wandering earth herself may be only a sudden flaming word. In clanging space, a moment heard, troubling the endless reverie. Don't burn me. Sweet dreams, sweet memories, sweet taste of earth. No, it's not good. You can't start like that and be good. You can't. It's fucking rubbish. Solitude that unmakes me one of men. Now that's a poem. There are stories that unwind themselves as simply as a ball of string. I mean, come on. You can't say that's good. It's fucking rubbish. There are stories that unwind themselves as simply as a ball of string. A man is on a plane between New York and Denver. He sees his life as moving along a straight line. Today here, tomorrow there. The destination is not so important as the progression itself. During lunch, he talks to the woman seated beside him. She is from Baltimore, perhaps 20 years older. It turns out she has had 2 children killed by drunk driver. I mean, god damn. How can you write this? When our coffin had been carried from the room, little Johnny started licking the fucking tomato paste off the ceiling. My daughter baby Cleo. My daughter baby Cleo lies on her back on the sheepskin rug, jerking her arms and feet like a turtle, stuck upside down in the dirt, struggling to get up. But here there is no threat. I tell myself, the room is benign, and I act for the best. She is just contentedly wriggling. It is nothing like a turtle flipped over, while 2 or 3 crows sidle closer, eager to pluck her soft parts. The room is safe, as I direct my life to keep it like that. How much is this a fiction I believe in? We are forced to live in a place without walls, and I build her shelter with bits of paper. The ever-attentive beaks surround us. These birds are her future. Face of a teacher, face of a thief, one with the face of her father. Yeah. And she probably got a fucking husband that looks just like this guy. Outline for a religious story. If I read them, they'd sound good. No. The hero of the story will admit he remained slack and impotent when it was his turn on the beach. The night that girl took everyone on, he will tell how he then floated out to sea without a thought of suicide, felt the mad eye of the moon pass through him into an open brain of the sea, and how he could feel his blood shift. Much later, he will return to the girl left by herself among the empty six-packs and small extinct fires, and he will offer her the little he has. She will be fixing her hair or just fastening the belt to her slacks. Why he will kiss her and start to remove her clothes, one by one, as if she were a person to whom ceremony might be important, will never be explained. I got pockets. I got no money. My 2.5-year-old. Oh, shit. That fucking kills the poem right out off the bat. Men with bottles and paper bags would languish in my doorway, and everywhere the gay shirts of the poor blossomed around the armpits. Two guys who sized me up said, "How about a buck for the brother Karamazov?" A lady with 54 pennies shaking in her hand said 2 cents more would do it. I had pockets, and the sounds in them were little bells as I walked. Past the vague faces that looked like aerial shots of Utah taken at twilight. They all had pockets, but that's all. Late at night, you could see their hands in them, fingering the stale air, and you knew they were dreaming. My father used to tell me bamboo grows so fast the Japanese would sharpen its edges and spread eagle a prisoner. Yeah, these two guys suck. Ferlinghetti, not good, but he's probably better than them. I didn't get much sleep last night thinking about underwear. I mean, it's just fucking rubbish. Why would see when you write that line, you fucking punch yourself in the face when you're done. I think Galway, Kennel was actually somewhat better. Why do you talk so much, Robert Frost? One day I drove up to Ripton to ask. I stayed the whole day and never got the chance to put the question. I drove off at dusk, worn out, aching in both ears, Robert Frost. Were you shy as a boy? Do you go on making up for some long period of solitude? Is it simply that talk doesn't have to be metered and rhymed, or is talk distracting from something worse? Whoa, what's this? Ooh, Baha, Jawooden. You have this book? Galway Kennel. To a child in Calcutta, the river that is east. The Jew rocks along in a black fur stramel. The supper after the last. We came to visit the cow dying of fever. I hate William Carlos Williams. Body rags. What else did I get? Oh, Robert Lowell. I think I already actually have this one. Who knows if the live season will add tomorrow to today? Young, we identified the sounds of the summer nights, the morning birds, roadsters, and sex of the incumbent generation. How little we cost then. And so many submitted to pain and even joy to bring us here. They now solid because we are solid. We their only outcome. Their faces no longer faces, adorn the golden age of photographs, thinking like us, the autumn of the world. Houses grew with them, increasing like the great conch's rose-lipped, steepled shell, left calcifying in gardens where the children multiplied. I cannot believe myself, them. I cannot believe myself, them. My children more skeptical than I, misunderstanding those who misunderstood, hanging on to power by a fingernail. If I could go through it all again, the slender iron rungs of growing up, I would be as young as any, a child lost in unreality and loud music. See, that's not bad. Now, if you read Jeffers, you'll find 50 amazing ones. Air of Corn. Burial. See, now here's a burial. This one hopefully is better. My ear is itching. Fuck. Burial. Burial. 4, 6 or 7 swallows drag the air, their fast play of flight unbroken, as if called by a voice. The flies become fewer about my head. Long-winded wasp stumbles on me, marauding, providing as if... I'm done. Bullshit. Fetus. The convicted abortion surgeon and his Harvard lawyers are big league. On this book, large enough to write on, is a sad black actual photograph of Abraham Lincoln and Tad in 1861, father and son, their almost matching silver watch chains, as they stare into the blank ledger, its murders and failures. They, old Abe, and old at 52, in life and office, no lurking illusion. Clad for the moment in robes of splendor, passed him unchallenged. Only in a dream was he able to hear his voice in the east room of the White House, saying over his own dead body, Lincoln is dead. Dreams, they've had their vogue, so alike in their modernist invention, so dangerously distracted by commonplace their literal insistence on the letter, trivia indistinguishable from tragedy, is monstrous melodrama, terminating at a playhouse. Dreaming, overhearing his own voice, the colloquial sibilance of the circuit court. Once freedom, the law, and home to Lincoln, shot while sleeping through the final act. Fortunately, I only dream in consequence. Last night I saw a little flapping square of pure black cloth. It flew to the corners of my bedroom, hugging, fluttering there coquettishly. A bat. If wing and pelt could be one color, black. It was a mouse, so my dream explained. It taught me to feed and tame it, with nagging love only existing in my short dreams, immeasurable leisure. Right. I do want to read that book on Mary Lincoln's madness. I think that would be a good book. That or the Agatha Christie. Oh, fucking time is it? 2:00? It's got to be like 2:20. 2:24, motherfucker. All the motherfuckers in the world. Hey, I have a doll. I hope you can see it one day, buddy. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to see it one day, buddy. But I do have my Cupid doll. Look at this fucking gangrene foot. You can almost see up to his torso there. Look at there. Where did I get this? Oh, I know. I got this in sale in Plymouth. Get over there. I don't give a fuck about dolls. Got that one sitting on my porch. It's probably gonna melt. Meant to give it away, but now it's kind of falling apart. There's the chooch. Choochie. I don't know why I'm yawning. I didn't do shit at work. And I haven't done shit since I got home besides read. The Old Man in the Corner, 12 Mysteries by the Baroness Orczy. A real person or what? Jesus Christ, what kind of fucking font is this? Ensconced in a cozy corner of a London tea shop, a nameless, shabbily dressed old man. I hate when the font's that small. That's ridiculously small. Hey, we had to fit it all on there. Is this person real? Wait, so it's the Baron or is it the Baroness? Isn't a Baroness a woman? It was all because of the steam-powered mill on the river Tarna in Hungary. If Baron Felix Orczy had not been an enthusiast of scientific farming, he would have let his peasants continue on in their Bronze Age ways, cutting the grain with little sickles, threshing it with flails on a clay floor, and grinding the grist with ox power. But the Baron was a modernist. Where the fuck does his wife come into it? Baroness Emma Orczy, 1865 to 1947, was born into the landed aristocracy of Hungary. Her father, indeed, was a gifted amateur composer. In later years, one of his operas under Colonel Mapleson. As a result of the pleasant uprising, however, the Orczys decided to leave the wheat country and live as urbanites, educating their children to their future. Places among the Austro-Hungarian nobility. Alright, so it is a real person. The final exit. Hey! Suicide hotlines. I mean, this is a book about, looks like large print too. That's why I got it, was because of Dr. Kevorkian. Where did it say Kevorkian? There it is. Dr. Kevorkian knew that Michigan, his home state, had the most ambiguous laws on assisted suicide in the United States, with cases ranging from extremely punitive sentences to freedom. The first known prosecution in America for euthanasia came in Michigan in 1920. When Frank Roberts assisted his wife's suicide, she had multiple sclerosis and had attempted suicide before. At her urgings, Mr. Roberts mixed Paris green containing arsenic with water, put it in within her reach, and she drank it. Convicted of first-degree murder, he received life imprisonment with hard labor. In Wallace's case, people versus Roberts went into the legal history books. He was never heard of again. Presumably died in prison. Is this fucking large print? I guess I didn't really open it. Doesn't look like it's a large print, but it's fucking definitely large print. See, this isn't large print though. This is normal. The rest of the book is just fucking huge print. Cray. You're now comfortable with the decision to. What the fuck? This guy's telling you fucking how to off yourself. And I looked it up on eBay because I was going to sell it, but I mean, what if I sell it to somebody who's just going to fucking off themselves? How do you end your life with certainty and grace? By not reading this fucking book. When is the time to die? God damn, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you? You want to go together? Take a friend. Self-deliverance via the plastic bag. This guy's got to be a mental fucking case. Where was he? Look at this fucking drum-headed son of a bitch. Hey, buddy. You contemplating the final exit? Help you get there, Bubba. Sick bastard. It has stunned the nation by offering people with terminal illness a choice on how and when to end their suffering. Beware of the law. Helping another person to die is presently against the law, bro. You may think this is a stupid, unreasonable ban, but we live in a society under the rule of law, motherfucker. So we have to be careful about what we do. Hopefully the time is not far off when the law will be modified so I can help you die, bitch. What the fuck are you talking about, buddy? Hook me on a machine and keep me alive for like 300 years. I don't care if it fucking... Who goes into debt? That's going to be my final wish. Never take me off life support. I don't care if I'm alive for hundreds of years on that machine. So I'm going to leave a note for my kid. When I fucking die, don't let me die. Just keep me alive for 50. Put me on YouTube, actually. Just have a cam on me for 200 years. The main factor in shelf life is how fresh the drug is when it is received from the pharmacist. Has it been sitting in a pharmaceutical warehouse for years, or on the drug is shelved for a long period? This guy really wants you to fucking go. My mother had ovarian cancer and she was dying. In her view, not fast enough. On a day I'll never forget, I visited her and she made her wishes clear. I've had a wonderful life, Billy, but now it's over, or it should be. I'm not afraid to die, but I am afraid of this illness. What it's doing to me. There's never any relief from it now. Nothing but nausea and this pain. There won't be any more chemotherapy. There's no treatment anymore. So what happens to me now? I know what happens. I'll die slowly. I don't want that. Who does it benefit if I die slowly? If it benefits my children, I'd be willing. But it's not going to do you any good. It's not going to do Ed, my husband, any good. There's no point in a slow death. None. I've never liked this. I've never liked doing things with no point. I've got to end. I've got to end this. No, I'm going to be put on the machine. Kept alive for at least 100 years. I don't give a fuck who it bankrupts. Keep me on that machine. Because honestly, they can't take away your health insurance until you're dead. So just keep me on that fucking thing. And if the health insurance cancels the policy soon, that'd be my second and final wish. Keep me alive in that bed for fucking 100 years. That's right. If I have the YouTube channel going, I can make profits and then I can fight them in court to stop them from taking me off the insurance. But then again, if I'm getting millions of views, I wouldn't have to even have insurance. I'd just have the money go right to them. I'd go fund me. Holy shit, an hour and a half. Someone's going to come here looking for entertainments of the popular age, and this is what they're going to get. Some fucking babbling bullshit. And it's probably going to be Stephen Dobbins. Who the fuck is this guy? Is that him? Yeah. It's probably going to be Stephen Dobbins. He's going to find me somehow. Cemetery nights. Wheel of memory. Wheel of forgetting. Theseus within the labyrinth. Short rides. Grave digger's pleasure. Sometimes it comes down to very little. A man in a coffee shop spending the afternoon at a table in a corner. He is the opposite of deaf. When he speaks, no one listens. How could it? How cold it is. He says from this, no one says that. He has never known the dark to come so fast. That night on the beach, he watches an ocean liner steam out of the harbor. Dark thing, encrusted with light. From across the water, he'd like, oh my God, Stephen Dobbins. Didn't he write the book Church of the Dead Girls or something like that? The Church of the Dead Girls. Let's see. Kevorkian had some fucked up paintings. Ever see his paintings? They were actually pretty good. Church. Dead Girls. Yeah, it is a novel by Stephen Dobbins about a small rural upstate New York town where three young girls disappear, leading to a climate of fear and suspicion among the residents. Maybe I'll find that book and read it just to torture myself. Kevorkian. That's Kevorkian. Probably will. Kevorkian paintings. I wonder if there's a whole site devoted to Kevorkian. Art value price guide. Did not like the sound of that. Someone fucking upstairs. Is that just the trains coming? Holy shit, Kevorkian, what are you doing? Let me turn off the lighter. Oh no, that fucking fly's back. What the hell is this? He's got some fucked up shit. shit, Kevorkian. Holy fuck, who's that? Bach? That's not Jack Kevorkian, is it? It's pretty good for Bach. Bach. Fucking head's glowing. Look. What the fuck is wrong with that guy? Well, he's dead now, but. Hey, buddy. He's creepier than the paintings. Yeah, it's pretty cool. A bit childish, but. The fuck does this mean? Give me that hair, bitch. That's pretty normal. That's pretty bad. $2 million? Look at that fucking guy. Creepazoid. It's Ed Harris's painting. This one looks kind of fucking. Let's see what this bullshit's about. He's got a hand coming out of his butthole. The fuck is this? Jacob Kevorkian. Is that his? Oh, I guess that is his name. Postcard, the Constitution. The fuck is this? Paralysis. Look at that rabbit's face. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Fly? I will fucking get you. Is that him when he was younger? Looked better when he was older. That's fucking weird looking. Kind of looks like Dennis Hopper right there. Fly. Look at that. Come on, kids. Give me a big hug. Group hug. Fly. I don't get these flies. I don't even know how they get in. I literally open the door like 4 times a day. Going to work, come home. How the fuck did they get in there? Because they sit on the door. That's how I've watched them do it. They literally sit on the door and wait to come in and then fly around. It's just the dumbest shit on the planet. And every time I get rid of one, I always capture them and throw them out the window. They fucking come back. Can't live like this. Yeah, they're just stupid. Not even doing anything. They just fucking fly around. like 100 miles per hour and then just stop for no reason. Yeah, and they won't. And they fly so fast you can't even see them half the time. A cat can see them, though, every time. They're just dumb as fuck. I caught one today on accident. I thought he was a big spider. I was going to work and I didn't feel like dealing with him, so I put a glass over him. I thought it was a big spider, and then I get home tonight, and the fuck, it was just a fly dead on the floor. I captured him like it was a huge, what are those fucking spiders called? Those hairy looking black ones or gray ones. Anyway, I thought I had a big spider. It was just a dead fly. Must be another train coming, or someone got in the upstairs window. There's the fly. You fucking piece of shit. So I never get an old house. No, I think today's Sunday. Well, it is here anyway. Wolf spiders, yeah. Guess no one could have got in on the upstairs unless they climbed the wall. I need to go shut that one window. Just so creepers don't come in. Oh, fuck. You shoes. Oh, man. Socks, you're going off. It's almost 3 a.m. What are those fucking... 487, blah, blah, blah. Let's see what we can find here tomorrow. I spy a estate sale coming. Do you? Nine a.m. All the good shit will be gone. I'm not getting up at 9 a.m. Fuck you. There's only one photo? What kind of bullshit is this? One photo. Don't miss these great deals. Plenty of vintage books. What? I can see is a fucking telescope in a casket. Let me go in there. I spy some bullshit when I see it. I don't know why you wouldn't go to estate sales. Fucking great. Wish I could pull up that one I went to yesterday because they had a fly. I want you to fucking die. Where's he at? Carlton, way too far. This one's close. Somewhat. 100 pictures. That one I already looked at. This one's. This problem with this Northville is it's too classy. I don't want rich people stuff. Cash only. Fuck is this bullshit? Hey, get me a wooden turtle. Look at that. That's pretty cool, honestly. Yeah, that really made it bigger. What a fucking letdown that was. The preview's bigger than the piano. Tarot, what the fuck? Why didn't I go? Is that a cat? What kind of bullshit is this? That's the devil. I thought it was a cat. What's this called? Astral Tarot. Is that a game? Is that just this box that looks huge? What did you type? What the fuck did you type? Well, that's probably gone. I would have picked that up. I should have went there today. Damn it. Or yesterday. Books. What do they got? Can't read that shit. What does that say? Fuck is that? Les Miserables? What does that say? What kind of shitty picture is this? Dictionary. What are these? Here's to crime. I've already got 3 copies of that book at least. What's this? What the fuck does that say? It's weird knickknacks. I think this fly's just gonna die just like his brother did. 'Cause they got no food source, so they just fucking die. Some creepy looking shit. I'm the deranged reindeer. Guess I could click this. Which I doubt it's gonna do anything for me since they ain't gonna tell me shit. Houses. What's that say? Right people. Say outrage. Courage. No. I think it does say outrage. Where's this at? What location? Fucking Meadowbrook. That's like 8 miles too far. Might go there. Jack of Orchians, elephant. What bullshit is that? Oh, they said X. I love vintage X-Men stuff. Say, what are you fucking talking about? Hey, I just love that vintage X-Men. I can't stand Eminem. Guy's a fucking worst. He's a great rhymer. He's a great rhymer if you're fucking a Stephen Dobbins fan. Never liked that guy. Just hate him. He ain't no Kevorkian. Dude, just take me back to the fucking... Gene, that is Aloha. These guys are good. I like these guys, but they're too good, and therefore there's going to be nothing at the sale left. Doesn't look like much to begin with. The fuck is that, a bell? Hell yeah. It's a big old school bell. Who's this fucking guy? Is that Gene? Never seen this guy before. I don't know who the fuck that is. He's not part of their group as far as I know. Books. Shit. Hell yeah. What do we got here? Holy Bibble. Who's who in the Bibble? Brain on Fire. Augustine Burroughs. Magical Thinking. Secretariat. What? Schindler's List. Mitch album. No thanks. Hey, we got all the Mitch albums. They got Twilight too. God damn. And Charlene Harris. Oh, man. Sylvia Brown, motherfucker. That's the clincher. Definitely not going, though. Is that Billy Graham? There's the Shack. Wheat Belly. I choose Stephen Peanut M&M. I think Dobbins is dead. He's got to be close to dead. Fuck Eminem. Can't stand that guy. Look at that. Maybe I will go there and get that fucking second VCR TV player. Hell yeah. Look at that thing. It's a fucking brilliant setup. Is he? Is he alive? What is this? Looks like a CD. Mr. Heater Buddy. That's my bro. Mr. Heater Buddy. Why has he got two Mr. Heater Buddies? The fuck is all this shit? 4,000 to 9,000 BTU. Fold down handle for compact storage. Is the handle really going to make a difference? Guns. Fucking fly. I had 6 minutes apiece there. Guess I should shut the basement door so he can't get in there when I go to bed. What's all this bullshit? Fucking old record players. Trust me, I got enough old record players. That warble. Look at that television. What the fuck is that? Axes. I'll ax you if you need an axe. The hell is that? Shot glasses. Hey, I need a little rack for my shot glasses. What fuck kind of bullshit is that? Magazines. Not going to Ypsilanti anyway. Bike. Is that a mower? It's not a mower, is it? No, I think it's a power washer. Sun Joe. Fuck that shit. Sun Joe, you ain't doing shit for me. What? Why the fuck do I have to sign in? I've never signed in before. Ever. Ever asked me to sign in again, you fucking intrusive sons of bitch. I spy. Shit. Carlton, way too far. Farmington Hills. Look at that house. That's pretty fucking nice. Oakman Boulevard. That's far though. Rockwood, too far. Novi, too far. We'll look at this house just to look at it. 26 photos, not going. Fucking rubbish. Those all ceramic Christmas trees? Sure looks like it. All right, I'm done. I gotta go to bed or shower at least. You got a lot of juggalos up there. Fuck those juggalos. And we got a bunch of dumb motherfuckers, like everyone else has. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Hey, I'm modifying my body. I fucking got holes in my ears the size of a fucking quarter. It's great, buddy. It's a great look. Juggalos. I am drinking Fago. I'm getting horsewhipped by my boyfriend. ASMR. Yes. What the fuck is that? Is that one of those big fucking roly-poly motherfuckers? Something just ran across the floor. Looked like a big old fucking centipede. Jesus Christ. How the fuck are these things getting in here? I don't like that at all. Never seen so many weird bugs any year of my life. He didn't like the ASMR. Is that the fly? He started. All right, I'm really going to shower now.